Hello everyone, it's Nick here, and it's the 2-week roundup where we look at the videos we've been looking at this time round, the games more importantly, and try and rank them in an order of the top 6. Now, a bit of a different format this time. Previously we've been going round the world and different countries and giving important geography facts, but we're mixing it up a bit. We'll try this, some sort of studio type thing, to see if that helps. Will it? Possibly, but it's different. It keeps things interesting. Now, we've been doing a Formula 1 blundering series, if you haven't been looking at that, 2010, and I've started to struggle just a little bit. The first few races were quite good, but hopefully I improved, but Lewis Hamilton is getting away a little bit. Well, anyway, I hope you've been having a good week, but before we come to the top 6 here with this great big television screen, is that good or bad? Maybe. Yeah, we'll look at the Pinball Arcade as we slowly go through Season 4. First table we looked at this time was EARTHSHAKER, based on an earthquake sort of scenario. The real life table holds a motor which shakes the table at various intervals, and that's pretty cool. But as was commented in the comment section, which is always a good place to comment, it would slowly destroy the table, I think, and cause damage, and a lot of repair will have to be done. But it's called Earthquake. No, it's called EARTHSHAKER. It's not called Earthquake. A pretty good table by Farsight in 2015. And the second table we looked at was Starship Trooper, or Troopers, from the film Starship Troopers, not to be mixed up with the table Pooper Scooper, which does not exist. That came out in Farsight Studios in 2015, where you must go to various planets and destroy bugs. It loosely follows the plot of the film, but doesn't have Denise Richards in it, which is a great shame, because I could probably look at her all evening as she was in that film. Don't know what she looks like now, but it's a rather cool table. So EARTHSHAKER and Starship Trooper. Soon we'll be looking at the Addams Family in this season, and I've been hyping this in my own mind because I've never played this table over the months, because people say this is their favourite table ever. Please don't be disappointing, but if it's got the Addams Family music at the start, it might just be okay. So, here we go then. Number 6. What was the worst game of the 6? Well, it's quite a well put together game. It's not too bad as ways go, just that there's not a lot happening. The last 2-week roundup, a quiz game comes in 6th, and a quiz game comes in 6th again. It's on the ZX Spectrum. It's Pub Trivia by Codemasters in 1990. Essentially, you must pick any selectable character of, I think there's about 4 or 5. They all look pretty dopey with dopey eyes, but that's by the by. You must answer various questions in a pub trivia format to go up a pyramid and collect various bits of money. I completed one pyramid in this, which isn't too bad with my ropey knowledge, but some of the questions are quite old. It questions you on showbiz, sport, general knowledge, and you do get some free rounds going up there if you plot your maze path correctly. Have a look at the video. It'll probably become more apparent in that and more obvious. So 6th place Pub Trivia by Codemasters, more renowned nowadays for their racing games, but you have to start somewhere. In 5th place, it was a sequel, Strider 2 by US Gold in 1990. There are 2 versions of Strider 2 about the place, Strider with the numeric 2 from the arcades, and Strider with the Roman numerals 2 for the home computers. The original Strider had a few issues with bad frame rate compared to other versions. Strider 2 hasn't really solved the problem, to be honest with you. Yeah, not good at all. It's got plenty of colour in it. You start off in the woods, the levels are different, but it's a bit laborious. If you fall down ropes, you have to do the whole sort of part of the stage again. It struggles a little, so that's why it come in 5th place. US Gold, renowned for their awful conversions. This one was in 1990, if I didn't mention it. Their most awfulest conversion was Outrun. Check out my review of that quite some time ago now, and I get into a bit of a rant, but Strider 2, a well-deserved 5th place on the Commodore Amiga. In 4th place this time round, still on the Commodore Amiga, was ROBOCOP 3, as I scratched my eye for no reason, probably a flea. ROBOCOP 3, yes, ROBOCOP 3 was the worst film out of the ROBOCOP trilogy. Perhaps maybe the rebooted one was worse. First one, in my opinion, was the greatest. The second one was bit better. Third one, Jetpack, played by a different man, no good. And so is the same with ROBOCOP 3, the computer game by Ocean in 1992. What's good about this game though is very early representation of a first-person shooter. There's a bit of a driving game first of all, not much detail, but it does use early polygons and is a good example of it. So from historical points of view, this is pretty good. It's a precursor or a pre-runner to a lot of the early ones. Good to see it on the Commodore Amiga, but as a fun game, not really that much fun. I got to 2 stages. The second one was in various corridors shooting silhouettes. The ROBOCOP music is not there, which is a big loss, and ROBOCOP's voice is not there, which is also a big loss. When I think of ROBOCOP, I think of the music, and I think of his voice. With those two not there, lets it down a little bit, but take that out of the equation. Very good game in terms of polygons and what it was doing at the time. So that was 6, 5 and 4. So we'll do a summary of those. So 6th place, if you weren't paying attention, was Pub Trivia on the ZX Spectrum by Codemasters. 5th place, Strider 2 by US Gold on the Amiga from 1990. Well done, I almost forgot then. And I've got it written down in front of me. How can you forget something that's written down? That is the quality of this channel. And in 4th place was ROBOCOP 3 by Ocean in 1992. Okay, so what was the top 3? If you've been watching the channel the last couple of weeks, you've probably got a vague idea. It might surprise a few people because there's 3 very different games, all classics, and all could have possibly been at number 1. But in 3rd place, because there has to be a 3rd place, on the ZX Spectrum, we got SPINDIZZY by Electric Dream Software in 1986. And this was the oldest game I reviewed this week. It's classic Spectrum play. You control some gyrosphere or marble, you can control it, go around a different map. Gyrosphere there. That thing I'm trying to say is called Gerald. Basically the backstory is you've discovered an alien dimension, and as a cartographer you must map the whole of the place before your energy runs out. But that transforms to move a gyroscopy thing round the place without falling down gaps and collecting diamonds. It's a nice idea. I don't think many people would have completed this, but good fun. It's in isometric. It's a good example of coding, and yeah, it would have to go down as a classic. SPINDIZZY. I don't think it's connected to any of the SPINDIZZY other games, but we'll be coming to fast food at some point, and that is a Dizzy game as well. Bit of a Pac-Man clone, that one, but we will be having a look at all of them at some stage. In 2nd place then, moving on swiftly, so these videos, you can tell, are going to be a bit quicker from now on. We're up in the pace a little bit. Instead of giving you the highest mountain in Timbuktu is Ken. That might be wrong, you might want to check that. So in 2nd place, a game I originally played on the Commodore Amiga, gives me a nice fuzzy feeling whenever I play it on any version, is Lemmings by PSYGNOSIS in 1998. A good port from the Amiga version, although I didn't have a mouse. Doing this game on a controller is a little bit tricky, I would have to say. But if you've got a mouse, it'll be a bit better. But on this disc also includes Oh No More Lemmings. So you get a lot. I think there's over about 108 levels on this one, ranging from the really easy up to taxing and mayhem. You'll get a lot for your money on this one, so check that one out if you can get that cheap on the PlayStation 1. I prefer the Amiga version ever so slightly because that's the first one I played it on. PlayStation, not so bad, not so bad. So what does that leave in 1st place? Well, it's a martial arts kick-ass super game with a top license from Bruce Lee himself. It's Bruce Lee, Return of the Legend. The Legend. Yeah, that's it, one of those. It's by Vivendi Games in 2003. It's a really cool platform game, really shows off what the Game Boy Advance can do. I absolutely love this, and that's why it comes 1st place. Why 1st place? Because it's a range of great moves. It's strategy as well. You must be stealth and hide. Bruce Lee can pick up a stick and do all these moves. He does all these high-pitched fighting voices, and it's just great. He can run, do running jumps. You've got to see this video to be believed, the game itself. Really good running on a Game Boy Advance, and really awesome game. If you can get hold of a copy of this by Jeffrey, you should get it. So in a bit of a run of good Game Boy Advance games I'm reviewing at the moment, we'll have to pick up a stinker at some stage, no doubt. So this week, in summary, it's 3rd place SPINDIZZY on the ZX Spectrum by Electric Dreams in 1986. 2nd place, good old Lemmings and Oh No More Lemmings by PSYGNOSIS in 1998. And in first place, Bruce Lee, Return of the Legend by Vivendi Games on the Game Boy Advance in 2003. So thanks for watching the videos this time round in our new slimmed down slot. If you don't like this slimmed down version, let me know below if you want to go back to countries. But if you like this better, it's a bit more succinct, a bit more quick for you to look at in this stop go, I've got no time available sort of YouTube world, then let me know as well. So until next time, thanks for watching as always, and goodbye.
Goodbye.